One more round left in the Six Nations. Man, it's been entertaining. As a neutral, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've been impressed with the standard of play, the quality of the players in the championship. And so, as a neutral, I've thoroughly enjoyed the rugby and commenting on it. And so, if we look at the log, France on top, England, Ireland, Scotland, Italy, Wales. I think the French are going to stay on top. I think they'll win it tomorrow. I think England's luck will run out tomorrow. I think Wales are going to break that losing streak against the old enemy, and I think England are going to come up short tomorrow. I hope so anyway. But I've got a feeling the Welsh are going to put in a mammoth performance. They need to break that losing streak, and a quality team a quality union like Wales, you just can't keep losing. They've got to win at some stage, and I think England have been lucky, and I think their luck will run out tomorrow. Scotland, they're going to go to France. They're going to go to play. They've got nothing to lose. They're going to throw the ball around. They've thrown the ball around too much in the Six Nations. They've probably overplayed a little bit, taken too many risks, and I think they're going to go there and they're going to overdo it again. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring, highly entertaining game, but the French will win. I think they're going to have 80,000 fans packed into that stadium. It's going to be loud, a lot of singing, and then I think they're going to lift the trophy in front of their fanatical fans by the end of the night. Italy and Ireland, I think Ireland will win there. I think they'll bounce back. They're a proud team. They're still a very, very good team. High quality team, high quality individuals, and a very interesting game. And so I think they'll get the win over Italy as well. But I think France will win the Six Nations 2025. And so if we look at the teams, some interesting points to note. If we look at Ireland up against Italy, what's a big thing for me is Tadhg Furlong's on the bench, and particularly with an eye on the British and Irish Lions, I'd love to see him get a decent run there, maybe get a 30 minutes in the second half, see how he goes. I think that's one area where the British and Irish Lions are maybe a little bit thin is at tight head, and it'll be good to see how Furlong goes there. I think Andy Farrell will keep a keen eye on that. But good to see Tadhg back there. Hugo Keenan at the back, Mac Hansen. James Lowe comes back as well after pulling out last minute last week. And the rest is pretty standard except Jack Crowley comes in for Prendergast. So I feel for the young man, Prendergast. He had a bit of a shocker last week. He was outplayed by his opposite number and Tamak. And he made a couple of errors. And he's coming for a bit of stick. But I still rate that young man, Prendergast. I think he's one for the future. I think he's going to do great things for Ireland going forward. And he'll play a couple of Lions series as well. So don't throw the young man away yet. It'll be a good learning experience for him. It'll be a good setback for him to have. And that sounds strange, but you have to go through a bit of adversity. And you have to test your mental fortitude. And I think he's got the goods as a kid. And so it's good. It'll be good for him to play a bad game. It'll be good for him to get a lot of criticism and to just build that resolve and just build that determination to go back and to prove everybody wrong. And so, yeah, I think he'll be back. I rate that kid highly. He'll be back. And so happy for Crowley as well to get a run. He's a great player too. And so maybe Farrell would want to see Crowley have a go too in terms of Lions. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. But Jack Crowley's a great player too. Other interesting things, Omani on the bench. Joe McCarthy dropped to the bench. James Ryan comes in. James Ryan was good off the bench last week. I thought Joe McCarthy had a good game. He had one bit of a brain fart and gave away a penalty and a yellow card that cost the Irish. But other than that, I thought he was very good. And Bundy Aki on the bench again. That's very interesting. So put it in the comments. Who would your inside centre? Who would your number 12 be for the British and Irish Lions? At the moment with Tupoloto out, I'd go with Aki. He's been on the bench though for the last week or two, and so interesting. But at the moment, Aki's my front runner for the number 12 shirt for the tour to Australia. Who would you pick at 12? And will Tupoloto make it? Anyway, interesting. Aki's been coming off the bench. I don't know if he's carrying a niggle or if his fitness is in there. He's looked the last two games as if he's taken a bit of punishment, as if he's been in the physical stuff and he's been bleeding and taking knocks and limping. Well, he's a tough guy. Bandiochi. If we look at the Italian team, no real surprises there. They've made a couple changes, but I think they've also... Quesaro's going to make the most of the games he's got left, give some players a run. They're not in the running anymore, but yeah, Monticello, Negri, those guys got BC, great players, and they'll give it a go. It'll be good. I think it'll be competitive, and then I think the Irish will pull away in the last 20 minutes, and I think they'll bounce back, and eventually they'll have a decent win there. But I think it'll be close for the first 60. The Italians will come out firing. Last game, couple new guys wanting to prove things, but I think it's going to be a good game. If we look at the next game, England versus Wales. So again, Borthwick's made some interesting changes here. Marcus Smith continues at fullback. Finn Smith's been good at fly-off though. Roebuck on the wing. Elliot Daly on the wing. Tommy Freeman comes in. Pity about Ollie Lawrence. He was actually my first choice for number 13 jersey for British and Irish Lions. So yeah, Tommy Freeman comes in there, and then Fraser Dingwall. So Bennell moves to 8. Double carry on the loose forwards. Ollie Chesham and Will Stewart comes back. I've been impressed with Will Stewart. I think he's been the best scrummaging tight end in terms of guys that are in line for British and Irish Lions. And so Gowan Dickey also comes back in after Jamie George played in his 100th. And so there are some guys I'd like to see get a starting lineup. I've said it a couple of times. Cunningham South, I rate this guy. He's a heavy hitter. I'd like to see him get a start and see what he does. Give him a good 60 minutes and let him just go hammer. And anyway, I think this English team, I don't rate what they've done. I don't like the way they're being managed. I don't like the way they play. I don't like the way they coached. And I think their luck's going to run out tomorrow. I think the Welsh will beat them. I think the Welsh are going to end their losing streak. I think they're going to beat the English well tomorrow. And so if we look at that Welsh team, Ellis Mee, exciting youngster on the wing there. And Gareth Anscombe, Thomas Williams, they've been impressive since they've been brought in by Charette. And I like the look of this loose trio as well. Jack Morgan, Aaron Wainwright, Faletau, older guy, but turning back the clock, he's been very good. And then you can bring a Tommy Reffel off the bench. Reffel's been playing good rugby, and so yeah, it shows you the faith that Charette's got in Jack Morgan and Wainwright. Wainwright's a great player too, so they got some quality there. But Reffel can really come in and go hammer and tongs at the breakdowns in the last 20 or 30 minutes. So I got a feeling the Welsh are going to produce a massive performance. And then the big name for me is Dewey Lake. Dewey Lake's back. So he's the one guy in this Welsh team I rate super highly. And I think he should actually go with online. So he was good coming off the bench last week already. And the Welsh, they pushed the Scots hard in the last couple of minutes of that game. And so I'm really glad to see Dewey Lake back. As a South African fan, we respect him. He's the one guy in this Welsh team that physically takes the box on and matches them. So Dewey Lake, he's back. I think that guy's got to go to Australia, and I think he's going to make a big difference. I think he's going to get more game time this week. He'll play a longer stint in the second half. And I think this Welsh team, they're gonna be cooking on the weekend, and they're gonna roll the English over. The Welsh are gonna break their losing streak, and England's luck will be running out. That's what I think is gonna happen. Tell me in the comments what you think is gonna happen. Are the English gonna keep winning? They're still in line to win the Six Nations. So will England prove me wrong totally and go on to win the Six Nations? And or will I be right? Are the Welsh gonna finally break that duck, get the win? Anyway, we'll see. If we look at the French and the Scottish game, and so, it's been interesting. Matt Williams has been running his mouth again about the 7-1 split and the discrimination against the poor backline players. This oak is like he's some woke rugby commentator, but he's just running his mouth about discriminating against backline players, and it's unfair, and it's cheating, and it's unsafe. And my goodness, Matt Williams, yes. Interestingly, a guy like Gregor Townsend has also complained about it, and he's gone with a 6-2 split this weekend. So that's very interesting. I don't know I don't know if he's what he said to World Rugby, but apparently he was in some sort of a meeting, and he also said he's against it. It needs to be changed, and he's doing it as well. So maybe he's just doing it while it's legal. He's got to get a good performance. But Gregor Townsend's gone with a 6-2, and he's been criticizing the bomb squad setup as well. France 7-1 again, and so they're going to bring that massive pack of forwards on, a fresh pack of forwards in the second half, and Jagu might have to go play centre again if things go wrong. Last week they had a bit of a scare with Dupont going off, but they adapted well, and that pack was immense in the second half. They really steamrolled the Irish, and so this French team is looking menacing. Lucu did well in place of Dupont, and so I was impressed with his performance actually. And so I don't think the French are going to lose that match with Dupont out, and I think I think it's going to be a free flowing, open, high scoring, highly entertaining game, simply because the Scots are going to go there and they're going to have a go. They're going to throw the ball around. But I think the French will just have too much. And I think the power of both their packs that they're going to play in this game will be too much for the Scots at the end of the day. And so that's what I think is going to happen. I think France will win the title. I think England's luck will run out. And I think the Irish will bounce back. And I think players to watch for the weekend, going to be Tide Furlong, Jack Crowley, Dewey Lake, and who should be watching this game? Yeah, Lucu. It'll be interesting to see how Lucu goes. And maybe Finn Russell has got some work to do in terms of putting his hand up for that number 10 Lions jersey. So I think the French are going to get it done. They're going to beat the Scots. The Welsh are going to break the duck. They're going to beat the English, and I think the Irish will run away with it against the Italians in the end. But I'm looking forward to this weekend. Put it in the comments. What do you think is going to happen this weekend? And who are you rooting for? Which players are you watching for? Which players are you hoping will have a good game? Last chance to impress Andy Farrell in an international game. So the guys are going to put the performances in. I'm excited. I can't wait. Let's enjoy some rugby. Cheers.